All right, today what we're gonna be making is a Belgian Style IPA. I decided to go a little bit smaller this day because I already have like 10 gallons of beer already in my kegs here, so I'm trying to, I need some friends to actually help me drink this, so. If you're a friend of mine and you'd like to come visit me and drink some beer, then
who doesn't have friends?
welcome to.
Am I right?
But anyway, we're gonna start with 4.5 gallons of water here. I'm gonna bring it to 150, and now I think it's time to put in our grains. There's like a variety of different amounts of grain here, so it's all gonna be in the recipe. And I hope I have enough water in here to actually spark as well. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, guys. I really don't know. Everybody send your thoughts and all your positive vibes to me, because I'll probably need them. Well, the video will probably be over by then. I guess you'll see the end result in a little while. So that looks pretty decent to me. Not too foamy. Oh, it smells nice. It has his sort of like a caramel almost aroma to it. Okay, all right. I think there's gonna be enough water, but it's like very, very thick. I guess that's one of the perils of making a big beer. All right, now that I have my grains in here, I'm just gonna start my mash. I'm gonna plug everything in here. There it goes, look. Yeah, so I think this looks good. We're gonna just leave it now. Maybe we'll go take a nap, read a book, have some coffee. Actually coffee, because it's the morning, and you know, usually I brew outside, but today it's a little bit of like a gloomy day in New York. So we're just gonna brew inside, keep it nice and simple, nothing crazy. It's a little gloomy, but I'm gonna have a beer now. It's been a pretty long day. Okay, so what exactly is a Belgian IPA? The body in this beer is gonna be a little bit thinner, but it's gonna be crisper. So that's what kind of like gives it its own style. If you ever had a triple, then you would understand. You know when you have like there's like a Trappist beer that you have, it's like a Belgian ale pretty much. And that's really what it smells like. The other thing that helps this beer be a little more dry is adding the sugar at the end, which, all right, we have reached our 1 hour mash because Alexa let me know, which is also who I will credit as my assistant home brewer. And it's only 12 pounds, but okay, it's not too heavy. All right, let me get my other stuff in like I said, it's not too heavy, but we're gonna
I need some friends though.
We're gonna drain it a little bit. I might actually need Sarah's help, but she's behind the camera. That was a workout, man. Wow. You gotta train for that, Luis. And I'm just gonna increase the temperature here to like boiling. Meanwhile it drains. It's gonna be like, I'm gonna leave it for like 10 minutes. You know what? I got a pretty good boil this brew day, so I'm really proud of it. It's going, boy. All right, we're gonna go with American hops for this one. This is gonna be about 56 IBU, I calculated. We're gonna start off with some Mosaic, which is like 11.4 alpha acid units. And I'm gonna just do 0.5, that's 0.55. I'm gonna take a few out. Wow, look at that. It's all about the math, so you gotta be exact.
We're just gonna eyeball it. Half of this.
All right, this is gonna go right in here. And is this good for your skin? Okay, so I'm just gonna put these hops in here now, along with my whirlpooling tablet, and I'm just gonna put it in there somewhere. I think it has like a decent color. It looks a little bit kind of like a hazy style beer. The only thing I would change about this is maybe I would fine it with something different, maybe like gelatin, or I wish I could really cold crash it to like 30 some degrees. All right, we're gonna start kind of cleaning this up a little bit, but as you can see, I've already put in my connections to cool my wort. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna connect everything together so it kind of sanitizes this guy for the last 15 minutes. Sarah's not here, so I have to kind of film this by myself. Ooh, getting a lot of steam in there. But I'm gonna start my whirlpool right now, so I'm gonna, oh, that's hot, wow. It's like there's boiling water going through the plate chiller. I'm gonna hit this probably at like 170. I am going to now turn my water on, and I rigged this thing. Honestly, I'm pretty proud of myself for kind of rigging this thing, but don't tell nobody else I did it. Whirlpool. Typically, I'm not sure if a Belgian IPA you would do a whirlpool, but again, what really makes this style a Belgian IPA is the Belgian ale yeast. Look at that, they even put my name on it. They're so nice. And I'm really excited to try it because I did no research on what hop strain would work best with this yeast strain. So for all I know, all of these things could just become a problem in the end. All right, so we've chilled it to 170 now, and I'm just gonna add my hops right in here. Anyways, well, you know, in brewing, totally fine. Honestly, I'm totally kind of making this up on the fly. I'm just kind of basing the Whirlpool edition based off of other batches that I've done in the past. Okay, we're gonna let this go for a little bit. Alexa, set timer for 30 minutes.
Yes, Louie, anything for you, sweetie.
So convenient.
Why don't you ever call me sweetie?
All right, this looks great. So we're gonna turn it down now. We're gonna turn the heat off. In chilling, I usually just let it chill all the way to around 70 or whatever my water temperature is currently. All right, looks like we're at around 71, which I think is like a perfect temperature to start pitching our yeast. And I'm gonna just start transferring now. Oh, how do I do this? Let's see. Can I do this without making a mess, you ask?
I've actually done this a bunch of times. It is not possible to do it without making a mess.
I'm not sure. Well, we'll have to see. Oh yeah.
Okay, so this guy's better than we are.
So after I was done cooling and I cleaned all my equipment and sanitized my fermenter, I put the wort in the fermenter, then I pitched my yeast, and then I realized that I forgot to add the sugar at flame out. So I'm telling you, man, sometimes all you can really do is have a beer. What I decided to do was just boil about 3.5 cups of water and added the 1.3 pounds of sugar on there. And I cooled that, and then I added that to my fermenter. And one thing that I did read on the yeast packet was that it inoculates, 5 gallons of wort to only about 1.060 gravity. And this is gonna be a few points above that, especially with the sugar that I just added. So, honestly, in the end, we're gonna end up with beer. We're gonna enjoy it, and that's all that really matters. All right, so I took a gravity sample, and it is currently sitting at like 1020, which gives me around 8-ish% alcohol, a little more than 8 actually. So I'm gonna transfer it into my keg, which is sanitized, of course. And then we're gonna add our priming sugar, and then we're gonna leave the keg there at room temp for maybe like a week and let it just carbonate naturally. Now we're just gonna leave it for a week right here at room temperature, and then we'll check back on it after that week. All right, here it goes. See you later. All right, so it has come time for us to try our beer. It's been conditioning for about a week, or maybe a little more, maybe a little less. We'll never know. All right, look at that. So that looks pretty decent to me. Not too foamy, but it is carbonated, which is, exactly what we were looking for. That's not bad. It's a little bit on the sweeter side, but the gravity that it started with was a little high also, remember that. But it has like a little nice balance of like a sweet and a little bit of bitterness. And it's not as like thin as I was expecting it to be. But it does taste good. Tastes like a Belgian IPA, I would assume. That was good. I deserve a pat in the back for that one. I'm like an anchor, guys. I can just tell you all the news from here. And today in world news, the beer is great. Go have a beer. That's how my news would go. I feel like it wasn't fair really to show you how murky that beer was. So this is a few weeks after, and I want to show you guys what it looks like now after conditioning for, it's been a few weeks honestly. So we're gonna show you. Now it might literally be a little less carbonated, but that's because I have not come back to this. It looks much cleaner. It kind of cleans up pretty nicely even though it was keg conditioned.